Welcome back to the Wasteland for another review of Amazon Prime's Fallout series. Today we're going to be talking about episode 2, The Target. If you're new here, make sure to go watch episode 1 so you're all caught up on what's going on so far. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get started. The first 10 seconds of this episode are just so upsetting. We're introduced to Michael Emerson's character, Dr. Siggy Wilzig, weighing these terrifying looking puppies. And as you can see by the sign, any of them that weigh less than 10 ounces have to be incinerated. However, Wilzig saves this one pup's life, CX404 to be exact, as we see them just way underneath the 10-ounce mark. What a swell guy, even though the smile he gives after tagging the pup gives off a little bit of Predator vibes. Over the next couple minutes, we see the loving care that he has for her as he trains her in what looks to be secret while she lives in like a hole in the wall in his laboratory. After injecting himself with like a neurotransmitter, he takes a nap, which one should after shoving a tiny computer into their neck. He's woken up by 4:04 and he starts hastily running around trying to hide him again since it's broad daylight out. And that's when he's found out by another scientist, which confirms our previous suspicion that he was doing this all in secret. Wilson gets shoved to the ground while trying to like de-escalate the situation just before the fire alarm gets pulled as CX404 mauls the man to death. Realization sets in. Wilzig takes her as he casually tries to escape through the facility like a middle-aged person doing a mall walk. They're almost out of the facility, ditching all of their belongings when a turret pops up. I absolutely love the display message. How in the hell am I supposed to stay calm with an automated rotary cannon spinning at me? After seeing it in action though, I wouldn't be too afraid. I'm not sure if Wilzig achieved Ultra Instinct with that Neuralink or these turrets suck, but he literally dodges every bullet. Once the intro plays, we join back with Lucy just wandering aimlessly through the wasteland, which leads to a pretty cool Easter egg involving Robco, which you can check out through our Easter egg shorts right here. She begins to see little tidbits of the actual horrors from Vault-Tec as she stumbles upon the skeletal remains of a family sitting around a dinner table. At first glance, it seems like they were just in the blast radius during their breakfast. It isn't until she picks up a glass bottle that reads, Vault-Tec Plan D Eco Savings Package, which is just poison that Vault-Tec pushed to poor people that couldn't afford the luxurious life of the vaults. Sounds about right. After falling asleep by the fire, she's awoken to the growls of none other than 404 tearing up a rat. How she didn't notice him just sitting there staring at her is beyond me. He's literally right in her field of vision. Then he opens his mouth.
Before the war,
I started cackling. His entire exposition here is just great.
people joked about cockroaches surviving a nuclear blast, but they didn't merely survive. They improved. Extended antennae in order to hunt in packs.
Lucy's trying to tell him about her dad, and this guy's just going off about the rules and laws of life and how they no longer exist.
You will have to adapt. I do not think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here.
Don't get me wrong, he's spitting complete facts here, but the way he says it just makes me laugh so hard.
The question is, will you still want the same things when you have become a different animal altogether?
Tag back to Maximus on his first Brotherhood mission, making a complete ass of himself.
My Lord Titus, I see you went with the tempered lining on the T60. Does that help with mobility?
I mean, I'd rather be doing that scene in the wasteland than back at base cleaning latrines.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This Titus is such a dick. He has the pilot set them down because he's bored and he wants to shoot something. The dropship flies off and Maximus kind of just gives it this like helpless look while it's flying away. At the same time, Wilzig and 4 are taking a little lunch break in the woods. I would honestly probably let myself starve before eating canned ham, but something catches 4's eyes in the cave. After hearing a large growl come from the cave, which thankfully 4 found that hand, they get up and decide to move, and shortly after, Maximus shows up to the same exact spot.
They were here?
A man?
And a dog. The target.
They hear the growl come from the cave. When I was first watching this with Lady Maj, I was like a toddler jumping up and down in my seat when they went to go investigate. Between the growl, the radiation, and the fear in Titus, I thought we were going to see the scariest creature in all of the wasteland. Titus forces Maximus to go into the cave further without any power armor and a working flashlight because
You earned the suit through acts of bravery. This is an act of bravery.
But then he gets what he deserves while the camera pans back as Maximus is exploring and we see a Yaogway, which we all know are just mutated black bears. Not gonna lie, I was kind of upset since I thought it was gonna be a Deathclaw. After some light sparring, Titus does exactly what I do every time I encounter one and just starts running away. Maximus finally shoots him and we get hit with one of the funniest scenes in the wasteland from one of my favorite comedians.
Fuck! Where were you? Huh? This wasteland fucking sucks. Sending me stupid missions for remnants that turn out to be a fucking toaster. Give me a stim pack! What the fuck are you doing, man? Can you give me a fucking stim pack instead of just standing there? I'm asking you for a stim pack and you're looking at me. I got a 2-ton irradiated bear on my back and you're standing there. You stupid motherfucker, you know this is all your fault.
But then he said the wrong thing to the wrong squire and in true Maximus fashion completely lets him die in an arrogant way.
It is a knight's duty to better this fallen world. You don't deserve that armor.
They'll kill you for this.
Not if I bring back the target.
Once again, we get to see the typical interaction I get to have on a daily basis with customers at my store when Lucy stops to ask a stranger about directions in the wasteland.
What's that you're working on?
It's meant to be a water filter. No matter how much sand I put in it, I just get more sand.
Well, have you tried water?
You got water?
The kind gentleman asks her if she's going to Philly, which is a town straight over that hill, but then gives her an alternate route to take in life by asking her to stay there with him and be his wife.
Sounds dangerous.
Or you just stay here, live with me, use a family that helps with all the work.
She politely declines and starts her journey to Philly while Maximus is in the power armor. He's just still having the day of his life.
Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. The shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger.
He hears some screaming and goes to investigate to see a snake oil salesman being beaten by a chicken farmer. He breaks up the fight and lets the snake oil salesman free just to find out that the reason for the fight was due to the fact
The guy was fucking my chickens.
to call Philly a town is a stretch. It's basically a junkyard using old cars and metal sheeting as buildings. Honestly, it reminds me of Skid Row in Los Angeles. As she enters, there's a man in the shadows twirling a bullet just staring her down, just to find out it's the ghoul. After noticing a Pip-Boy in a shop window, Lucy goes in to try to get more information about this criminal that stole her father, since
It would be safe to assume that you do business with criminals.
after completely getting shit on by the shop clerk,
Holy shit, you're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you sardine fucking dipshits were dead.
she asks about Moldaver, which is when the shop clerk tells her to go back home while just continuously roasting the shit out of her.
All 10 fingers. Must be nice.
After using her little vault text speech, the shop clerk drops more knowledge on her about the vault's true meaning, while also telling her,
Fuck the vaults.
Wilzig and Lucy's paths cross again once Lucy is leaving the shop and Wilzig is entering before he tries to warn her again.
Really think you should go home. You are not safe here.
No one understands my situation.
You come from Vault 33. Your primary crop is corn.
Just when Wilzig is getting called into the shop is when the ghoul decides to step out of the shadows and make his entrance. Excuse me while I pucker my asshole for this intense scene.
Or you wouldn't happen to be a doctor, would you? Cause I happen to be looking for one.
You know your kind ain't welcome here.
But I'm gonna make myself welcome.
Come to find out, after Wilzig escaped, he had a bounty placed on him throughout all 6 agencies. And the ghoul is here to collect. Only problem is Majin is not letting Wilzig go without a fight.
But I've been paid a whole lot of caps to provide this man safe transport.
But that plan gets blown right out of the water. Ma throws out a 1,000 cap bounty right then and there for whoever can kill the ghoul, which leads to another great, brutal, and wonderfully choreographed fight scene. The ghoul's sense of humor low-key carries the show for me.
I'd offer you one of these cherry tomatoes, but you got a hole in your neck.
The one-liners are just great. Lucy quickly runs inside the shop and starts checking some book to figure out where Moldaver is, while the ghoul is literally taking out half of the entire town. But don't worry, he's kept his integrity throughout the years.
For the tomatoes.
Before he begins to maul the ghoul, Lucy starts going on one of her goddamn spiels trying to de-escalate the situation, and we're all thinking what Majin says.
Fucking vault dwellers.
The ghoul doesn't accept this offer while he walks towards her fully cocked, and that's when all of her storylines tie together while Maximus comes down cosplaying Iron Man. Maximus saves Lucy and tells her to bring Wilzig inside and keep him safe while he fights the ghoul, destroying half of the town while he does so. Barv and Majin make this final scene so much better. Their banter is so fucking hysterical.
Gonna need a new foot, Barf. Trying to eat my beans. Old crate under the box with the defibrillator. You keep moving things around without telling me.
I don't mean to interrupt, but was that a knight?
After attaching a foot back to Wilzig, he says that Lucy can bring him to his destination since there's no one else in this town that he can fully trust. Lucy initially goes to decline, as I think any semi-normal cult-bred vault dweller would do, until she finds out that Wilzig is on his way to go meet the one that she's searching for, Miss Moldaver. The ghoul and Maximus are still brawling outside when Maximus accidentally gives the ghoul the upper hand. Then he just completely shits all over him.
You drive that thing like a fucking shopping cart. Rule number 1, read the manual.
Chicken Fucker makes another appearance, being his snake oil selling self, trying to make a quick buck off of Lucy and Wilzig.
Serums to invigorate. Serums to heal your feet. Foot healing serum. Serums that will make you grow an entire new foot.
Before Maximus lands next to a tree like the piece of shit he is. Upon investigating Majin's shop, we find out that 4 isn't dead after all. So the ghoul hits him with a stem pack and they begin their journey to reunite him with his master. Our episode comes to a close with Lucy and Wilzig walking through the desert with roughly about 20 miles left until they reach their destination. Wilzig explains that he can't go on, and in true Lucy fashion tries to give him another little pep talk.
Listen, I don't know who you are or how you know the things that you do, but you are going to get across that wasteland. And we're going to do it together.
No, you see, I've just taken a cyanide pill.
As he's dying, he explains that Lucy can still get to Moldaver by chopping off his head and bringing it to her instead of carrying his whole dead body throughout the wasteland. He then uses her dad's kidnapping and vault dweller propaganda.
I knew I could trust you. You are a vault dweller.
To convince her to do it more. Tells her that she has to act more like a surface dweller if she's going to survive up here before dying and leaving us with the biggest cliffhanger imaginable.
Okay, Miss McLean.
How do you know my name?
She cuts off his head and the credits roll.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty friends, that's going to do it for this Fallout Episode 2 review. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has continuously supported the channel and shared these videos with a friend. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss a new upload. Comment your thought on this episode or the series as a whole. Check out the description where you can find me across all your different favorite social media platforms, and until next time, I love you guys. See you later. Unforgiving Wasteland in order to find her kidnapped father. So make sure to grab a snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started.